Conformity is a type of social influence involving a change in belief or behavior in order to fit in with the group. This change is in response to real or involving the physical presence of others, or imagined, involving the pressure of social norms or expectations. Conformity can also be simply defined as yielding to group pressures. Group pressure may take different forms, for example, bullying, persuasion, teasing, and criticism. Conformity is also known as majority influence. The term conformity is often used to indicate an agreement to the majority position, brought about either by a desire to fit in or be liked, or because of a desire to be correct, or simply to conform to a social role.
Some factors makes conformity more likely to exist in a group. Number 1, size of the group. The more people there are in a group, the more likely a member tends to conform. Number 2, unanimous groups. Conformity is higher when the individual faces a group in which all members feel the same way about a topic, a problem, or an issue. Number 3, culture. Conformity occurs in all cultures. However, some cultures emphasize the welfare of an individual, thus people are less conforming. Others focus on collective welfare, some people tend to be more conforming. A high degree of conformity leads to faster accomplishment of a task or work. Number 4, gender. In the past, females were more likely to conform than males, but research has shown that it is no longer the case.
Types of conformity. Kelman distinguished between 3 different types of conformity. The first one is compliance, or group acceptance. The second one is internalization, or genuine acceptance of group norms. And the third one and the last one is identification, or group membership.
Compliance. Compliance is the lowest level of conformity. Here, a person changes their public behavior, the way they act, but not their private beliefs. This is usually a short-term change and is often the result of normative social influence. For example, you might say that you like dubstep music because many other people in your class like dubstep music and you wish to fit in. However, privately, you dislike the style of music.
Identification. Identification is the middle level of conformity. Here, a person changes their public behavior and their private beliefs, but only while they are in the presence of the group. This is usually a short-term change and normally the result of normative social influence. For example, a person may decide to become a vegetarian because all of his new flatmates are vegetarian. However, whenever he walks past a McDonald's, he can't resist a Big Mac, and when he is away from his flatmates, he still eats meat. Identification takes place when we are surrounded by a particular group. We change our private beliefs while in the presence of the group and not permanently.
Internalization is the deepest level of conformity. Here, a person changes their public behavior and their private beliefs. This is usually a long-term change and often the result of informational social influence, or ISI. For example, if an individual is influenced by a group of Buddhists and converts to this faith, then their new religious way of life will continue without the presence of the group, and they have internalized these beliefs.
An individual member can decide for himself or herself whether or not to conform and to what extent. The decision to yield to group pressure should be based on answers to any of the following questions. Number 1. Will conforming do you good? What advantages or rewards will you get from it? Number 2. Will conforming put at stake or endanger your integrity and that of your family? 3. Will it cost much on your part if you conform? 4. Will you be penalized or punished if you do not conform? 5. Will things change if you yield or do not yield to social pressure? As a member of a social group, one has to subscribe to basic and established rules, policies, or guidelines for him or her to truly belong. If all members of the group live by these institutionalized requirements, then order, discipline, system, peace, and harmony will be sustained.